You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Oh, welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Thank you for joining me, however you may be joining, whether that's on 94.1 FM. If you're listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, sasportstar.com, or if you are like the many, they're joining us on our YouTube channel. Go to SA Sports Star, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show as it happens, or you can go ahead and call in 210-656-ESPN. That is 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Appreciate y'all joining me this evening. We got full range football tonight. That is what's going on. The Texans on the field, they are taking on the Steelers, but that ain't it. We got football all across the land. We got to see Drake May and the Joe Milton show last night. We also got to see the Malik Hooker show with the Detroit Lions playing. Completely forgot they drafted him as he recovered from an ACL last season. So they've got their backup plan in place behind the one Jared Goff, who they just extended. So they are grooming the future and hoping that's it. 109er on our Let's Go. Fred Records says it's Texans time. That is right. It is Texans time. They're bringing out those new uniforms to take on Justin Fields and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk about what's going on in that game as it happens. But I want to start things off with Jerry Jones because John Machota had the tweet that went viral last night as Jerry Jones told the media yesterday that he didn't have any urgency to get a deal done. Rambled about going to high school and college and then said, blame it on going to Nobu if you want. Now, it's important that you put context on everything, right? And Daniel Rodriguez, you're right, Indy Kalu on the TV broadcast, so always good. And Indy Kalu going to be joining the Blitz again weekly coming up very, very soon. So that's going to be great because Indy is fantastic, both on the radio, in the booth, and when he joins the Blitz. But Jerry Jones, as we talked about, a lot going on with that as a lot was made. CeeDee Lamb responded to the post, reposting it on X with LOL, and then changed his banner from America's Team to 8's. And he also changed his Twitter banner from him with the Dallas Cowboys to him and Hollywood Brown and their 2 and 5 at OU. And Hollywood Brown did the same thing, sparking a ton of controversy. But I think there is a lot that you have to take from this in terms of context. And here's the full context of what Jerry said last night.
Week 3 is winding down. Can you envision September 8th coming and CeeDee Lamb not being ready to go?
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that we're getting great work, making real progress. And I don't think losing a step at where we are now.
Are you saying there's a sense of urgency as you begin the preseason to get CD done?
No.
Why do you say that?
I'm just I went to high school or I went to college. I don't know why I said it, but I'm just saying I don't know. I don't have a sense of urgency about getting it done.
It's a long-standing tradition.
Pick any reason you want. I was at Nobu 2 days ago. Give that as the reason.
Yes,
Whatever
we
you want
will.
to put out there.
Jerry, and man, you can always tell Clarence Hill in the background as that laugh is unmistakable. But full context, still doing a lot of work. They haven't gone backwards at all, and conversations are still being had with him and Dak So that's what I took from what Jerry said in its entirety. And Stephen Jones on the Doomsday podcast with Ed Werder and Matt Mosley talked about both CD and Dak and the latest contracts and the decision to put CD on the did not report list and why they did that.
One of the tougher things about camp was losing Sam, but we put him on IR too to make room. So it doesn't say anything about, our negotiation with CD. We just knew we had that roster spot, and when he reports, which we certainly believe he will at some point, and hopefully with a new contract. But, we continue to make progress. Things are very cordial with both players. We've got a challenging situation. It's a great situation to have, but it's challenging when you have one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and then you've got two of the best non-quarterback players in the league, a pass rusher, Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. And, we believe that as well, that they're two of the top non-quarterback players in this league. So it's a negotiation that we're obviously, having to work hard at it, because you also, at the end of the day, want to be able to put some other players. Those three guys can't go out and play the game by themselves. So we've just got to continue to work at it. I feel good about it, and we'll continue, to work with Dak and his representatives and CD and his representatives.
Now, they are having conversations. They're still working through it. It sounds like he wants to keep them. But the question becomes, other teams are finding ways to do this. To Tua Tagovailoa, and you end up signing both Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill to massive deals in Miami. In Philly, you've got Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith all locked up, plus Landon Dickerson to a huge contract. Up in Detroit, a huge deal, and you reset the market with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And other teams are finding ways to do this. Why is this so difficult for the Dallas Cowboys?
No, not at all. And even with our situation, but one of the unique things when you in the first year or two of a quarterback contract for the first time, which Dak was 4 years ago, we had several other players, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. We had a lot of different guys that were around that. It's easier, but as you continue to push money out on these quarterback salaries, and that money you pushed out comes back home to roost. And so, it's like I said, it's certainly something that's very doable, and we plan on doing it because we want all three players here, and we think we have the best chance to win a championship by having those three players on our roster.
J4 says Dak money's been the issue. It always has been. Look, you can lower a cap. He's at $55 million right now. By extending him, you can lower his cap number no matter what you're paying him right now, which would allow you to get more deals done. And now you're faced with the true fact of having to completely overpay Dak because you've waited so long on this for so many leaves to fall. And now you're faced with this idea that you have to pay Dak to not test the market.
Yeah, absolutely. We signed him to a long-term deal last time, and, we don't look at it that way. We look at it that Dak's our partner in this. We're trying to win a championship. No one wants to win a championship more than Dak Prescott. I can assure you that. And we don't look at it like we're trying to pay him not to go somewhere else. We just look at it as we're working with him and his representatives to try to come up with something that's good for Dak and his family, which congrats to him. He's got a new addition to his family, and
Those certainly cost a lot.
They cost a lot. And, but of all people, Jerry in particular doesn't blame anybody for wanting to make money. So we certainly understand that. But he's the leader of this franchise. No one respects him or thinks more than the Jones family, the Cowboys organization, and we just continue to work to get something done.
And J4 again on our YouTube chat saying you don't extend employees who can't move the needle. You can't tell me Dak doesn't move the needle. He's the front and conversation no matter where you're at, whether he's talking about his contract or talking about his performance and being second MVP or talking about his failures in the playoff, even though it was the entire teams that have failed around him, not so much Dak Prescott. He moves the needle. He keeps the Cowboys in the A block all the time. If the Cowboys fall back to 6 or 4 and whatever, that's not going to move the needle. Having Trey Lance as your quarterback isn't going to move the needle. At some point, if you don't have the quarterback and the team is just bad, they're going to stop talking about you because you'll have already fired your coach and everything's just wait until you get to the off season when you can talk about draft stuff with them again and who they're going to draft. That's when, if they're horrible mid-season, they're going to fall off the radar. And you think that fan apathy is bad now? Imagine if this team is miserable. At least with Jason Garrett and Tony Romo, the teams were 8-8 and they were always playing on the last game of the season to get into the playoffs. There was conversation and a narrative to chase. When Tony Romo got hurt, the only thing they talked about, should they take Zeke? Should they take Jalen Ramsey? Who should they take with their top 5 draft pick? It wasn't like it is now where they're always the conversation and Dak is a part of the conversation and Jerry and McCarthy and play calling issues are a part of the conversation. And, you know, is he an MVP candidate? Those were conversations that were had, and they're all different conversations because of that. 109er says CD is done in Dallas. Got to keep Dak. I don't think CD is done, but if I'm building a team, I'm looking closer at extending Dak, trying to find his replacement over the next 3 years, kind of a la Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, than extending CD at $35 million, because just look at the receivers that have come into the league, whether it's Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown, who was a second rounder, or Jamar Chase or T. Higgins, Samuel or Nico Collins now, Stephon Diggs. You can find great receivers that are number 1 receivers almost anywhere in the league. CD is a little bit more special than those guys, I think. But it is a lot harder to find a quarterback in this league than it is to find a receiver to pick up the pace of what CeeDee Lamb would leave rather than what Dak Prescott would leave. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle will be joining me to talk more about this situation and Wemby or USA. Who is he rooting for? Because it was interesting. They found out who Joe was rooting for, and I think the Morning Huddle took umbrage with it this morning. We'll discuss with him next, right here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Cowboys! South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:30, the Cowboys travel from training camp in Oxnard to Los Angeles to take on the Rams in their first of 3 preseason games. Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
George gets justice.
At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our motto is simple. George gets justice. But what does that mean for you? It means you get an award-winning team of attorneys who will fight for everything taken from you so that you can get back to what matters in life. When we say George gets justice, it's just not a motto. It's a commitment to you. Call us at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice.
George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
At Lowe's, we know how to save pros time and money. Save 20% on 1-gallon cans and 5-gallon pails of Valspar Defense or Cabot Stain. Plus, save 15% on your choice of 6 or more Purdy items. And get free same-day delivery to the job site when you order by 2 p.m. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 8/21 while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See store or Lowe's.com for details. Must be single receipt purchase. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
Your hair's sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
It's Wrangler season out there. Warmer days, cooler nights. Open roads, endless horizons. And you need to be ready in jeans made for the unpredictable. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Shop our newest styles today at Wrangler.com.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in your backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea cans. Twisted Tea Blue Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining. Right now, joining me, courtesy of the Buyers Barricades guest line. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle joining me. Rob, how are you doing, my friend?
I am currently in pretty good situation, better than you.
Back
floating
in the
my
pool?
pool. I'm in the water.
I love the calls from the pool. They are my favorite ones, actually. Well, I know y'all have fun this morning with the Jerry cut that I sent about not feeling a sense of urgency with CeeDee Lamb, but since then, the full context of that has come out, and I wanted to play it for you to get see if it changed your opinion on what Jerry said all of a sudden, because there was a lot of laughing in that cut this morning, which tells me there was more to the story. And I'll go ahead and let you hear what Jerry had to say for himself.
Week 3 is winding down. Can you envision September 8th coming and CeeDee Lamb not being ready to go?
Well, I don't know about that, but I know that we're getting great work, making real progress, and I don't think losing a step at where we are now.
Are you saying there's a sense of urgency as you begin the preseason to get CD done?
No.
No? Why you say that?
I'm just I went to high school or I went to college. I don't know why I said it, but I'm just saying I don't know. I don't have a sense of urgency about getting it done.
It's a long-standing tradition.
Pick any reason you want. I was at Nobu 2 days ago. Give that as a reason.
Yes.
All right. So there's the full context of it, along with Clarence Hill's cackle in the background. So does that change your opinion on the full context of what he said?
No, James, it doesn't. And for those of you that didn't hear me early in the morning, I believe that we need to start taking Jerry for almost literally the words that he's using. I think we've given him so much leeway with some of the things that he said, with the colloquialisms and the way he dances around questions, that we kind of expect that he's always avoiding the question. But I do think going all the way back to the all in means something different to me, essentially, than you. That he has been telling us that my all in is I'm all in on breaking this team apart. That what was the Dallas Cowboys of 23-24 will not be the Cowboys of 25-26. That Dak Prescott's going to be gone. That Mike McCarthy's going to be gone. And I'm not going to pay CeeDee Lamb one penny more than my first offer. That now, I do think that there's work to be done, but when he said in that quote that there was good work being done, he didn't mention the CeeDee Lamb contract. In my mind, he was talking about the receivers in camp. That he didn't mention contract. Now, I know the question involved that, but I took it as, yeah, we're getting good work done in that Dak Prescott's throwing to Jalen Tolbert. Dak Prescott's throwing to a couple of rookies, and we're getting good work done. And then when they ask him about signing him for week one, and I'm firmly in CeeDee Lamb's court. You're going to take an offer that I gave you, or we'll see you in week 8. I don't think he's going to move, man. I'm more firmly entrenched in the idea that Jerry had this plan the moment he walked off the field from Green Bay, that what it is not going to be what it's going to be.
Now, I'll ask you this, because there is what Jerry said and your opinion of what he's going to do. And it's fair to think that, because everything he's done to this point signifies that he's about ready to just have them lay it all on the line and then play it out and see where the cards fall. But I mean, it's a very dangerous game to play, because I don't think that he's lost every poker match he's ever been in a contract situation.
Right.
Has he not?
He has. You're exactly right. And while I give
by
him
saying that, my point is, he's lost every poker match he's ever been in. He's always folded, because we all know that he doesn't have the patience, I think, to start over.
Well, you don't go into a season with your quarterback and your head coach without a contract, without expecting at least some radical change. I don't think, but I will give you this. I think that where Jerry is not necessarily by design. I think that he figured a year ago that Dak would already be under contract, that he would take a team-friendly deal, that CeeDee Lamb, because Dak was under contract, would also take a team-friendly deal. Both of them getting raises, but not to the extent that the market has taken it. And as Jerry has pushed the can down the road, as he has let things go, he priced himself out of any other area. He's painted himself into a corner by accident, or at the end of the day, by design. Because I do think after the Green Bay loss, he was done with Dak. I do. I think he gave him an offer that if he took, he'd be happy with, but he was not going to give him 20% of the salary cap. He was just not going to do it. He's decided he's not going to do it, and he won't. And Dak's going to go make $60, $70 million because of that. He decided that I believe that McCarthy is gone as well. And this is all, watch what he's doing and also pay attention to the words that he's using. And he's been telling us all along. My idea of all in might be very different from your idea of all in. He's all in on redoing this team. And the only survivor is going to be Micah Parsons and CD if he'll take less money, and Trayvon because he already signed his deal.
See, And this is the tough thing for me to wrap my head around when it comes to this, because he says these things and, it's hard to construct a roster this way. Well, Philly's doing it. Tua's being paid a lot, and they're paying 2 receivers big money. Detroit just paid a left tackle, a receiver, and their quarterback all top of the market money. He's trying to negotiate through the media the same way he always does when he's talking about big money contracts. And everybody knows, and that this is the biggest fallacy that he and Steven talk when they talk through the media, is there's only so much money to go around, which they're partially right, but the salary cap's growing by leaps and bounds and by more than they expect every single year because of these new contracts that they're doing with the TVs and the Netflix and everything else that's coming in on the ancillary part. And now they don't have to worry about paying that lawsuit anymore because that got put to bed. It's a fallacy to think that these contracts can't go up because it will affect the salary cap, because the salary cap is also rising. So players are just calling Jerry's bluff.
Yes, and can you imagine? Now, there's the Dak Prescotts and the Micah Parsons of the world, and now CeeDee Lambs that are always, the top 5 at their top 10 in their positions, that are in a situation where they can truly negotiate, that they have a skill set that if you don't pay me, somebody else will, and probably more than you're willing to. But what he's sending a signal to for the rest of the NFL and the average workaday NFL types, let's say like Jake Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
Next summer, Jake Ferguson is going to be up. It'll be time for him to start looking at a new deal. He's probably going to be an all-pro. You can just, not an all-pro. He'll probably be a Pro Bowler. And he'll have the same kind of leverage that the last tight end came through. And if you're Jake Ferguson and you're watching how Jerry is handling Dak, and how he's handling CD, and how he's going to eventually franchise Micah Parsons, how are you going to treat me? How are you going to treat me when it's time for me to make one of those middle deals that just keeps teams afloat and winning? Not the superstar that sells the tickets, but the guys that, win titles. How are you going to handle my contract if you're not going to pay your stars? What are you going to do with me? And that's the short-sightedness of what Jerry did yesterday when he said, I went to high school, I went to college, I got no urgency. You got no urgency to bring in your number 1 wide receiver with a quarterback, no contract imminent, with a head coach not imminent. You got no urgency with that. Well, what happens when Jake Ferguson comes up? You can talk about no urgency. So, the ripple effect of the way Jerry's acting is going to go far beyond just his superstars. It's going to affect the team. It affects free agency. It affects a lot of stuff because, as AJ put it this morning on the huddle, this has been a grift.
Mm-hmm.
He's been saying one thing and doing entirely another if you believe that his intentions were there. I told AJ, it's not a grift. He's told us from the get-go. My all-in is different from yours. I have no sense of urgency. This team is going to be redone, and it's going to start at the top. Head coach and quarterback, gone. And that is his version of all in. Now, if you want to come and play with Jerry, he's got a contract offer for CD out there. And I'll bet it's in the top 5, but it's not even close to Jefferson. It's not even close to those. And it probably isn't even close in guaranteed money. So Jerry can say, hey, I offered him a deal. Dak's got a deal waiting for him. But neither one of them are even close to what they could get if they just waited. Dak Prescott doesn't have to do anything. He could get hurt tomorrow and make $65 million a year starting next year.
So I'm going to ask you this, and say you're Jerry Jones. You are the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. Your philosophy on building a team, and I've heard this on the morning huddle. Y'all say the easiest way to win a Super Bowl is to have a quarterback on a rookie deal.
I think that is a true statement. It's not the only way, but it is, in fact, the easiest.
Is it? Because I've only seen a couple do it. One of them's name is Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
the other is Russell Wilson.
We're also in an era of GOATs. I mean, we were in the middle of a Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes era that, it's kind of like going against Jordan. But we know what the salary cap looks like. And we know what San Francisco was capable of doing with Brock Purdy getting nothing. And they could sign McCaffrey and Debo and left tackle and Bosa. I mean, they could go pay everybody else. So, yes, that is the easiest way to get there. It's not the only way. But it's the way that if you are an average general manager and you wanted to go buy the book on how do you run an NFL football team for dummies, it would say, first things first, draft a young quarterback that won't lose games for you, then go pay everybody around him.
So you would let Dak walk if you were faced with the two, CD or Dak? You would sign CD?
Well, if I am Jerry, I wouldn't have gotten myself in this situation.
True.
If I was Jerry, this is what I would do. I would godfather Dak Prescott on a 2-year deal. I would pay him a ridiculous amount of money this year and next. The kind of money. I say I'm the highest paid player in the world, both in guaranteed and annual. That it's only a 2-year deal.
Yes.
And in that time frame, I am redoing this Dallas Cowboy team. I'll do what I can to get CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, but I'm finding that there's a new wide receiver crop every year. So we're almost getting to the point where maybe I can get by with rookie wide receivers, draft them high enough. I mean, there's another crop that came through this year that we expect to be playing in Orlando in the Pro Bowl, however they want to do it. So I make the offers, but Jerry has painted himself into a corner. So if I'm taking over the franchise as it sits, everybody's gone. I'm going to try to sign him, and he's going to play for me for probably 2 years. But in that time frame, I'm redoing this team. And maybe I keep him, but he's going to have an opportunity to leave very quickly.
I'm with you. I try and 2-3 year extension, give Dak all the money, draft quarterbacks over the next few years, try and find that next guy. But it is a lot easier in the NFL to find a top wide receiver than a top quarterback. There are 14 good quarterbacks that can possibly lead you into the postseason to give you a potential chance at winning a Super Bowl. While receivers, you've got Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, DK Metcalf, Brandon Ayuk, Debo, Puka Nacua, Mike Evans, Devontae Smith, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. You can find number one receivers. They may not be exactly what CD is, but you can get pretty close to the production. It is really hard to find a quarterback that will get you close to the production of Dak Prescott.
I think that list of wide receivers you just gave is the very list that Jerry gave CD's agents. I mean, dude, there's so many guys now that, yes, you're worth it and you're a top 5 guy, but in 2 years, I could find a guy probably pretty close to you. I don't think he says it in that many words, but I think that's the case. And he's drawn a line in the sand. He's just not going to overpay as he transitions this football team. And I still don't think it's out of the question that Dak doesn't get that kind of deal. We still have weeks. I do think once the season begins, all is lost, that Dak will be gone for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we've still got 3 more weeks, and it wouldn't shock me a bit to see CD in camp on Wednesday and Dak with a fresh 2-year and a big old whopping guarantee for a couple of years. Because again, they haven't even played a preseason game yet, but Jerry has made it very clear to everybody involved. I'm not overpaying for anybody, at least not for the long term. That's never going to happen to me again.
Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle joining me here on Extra Innings with Pledge. And before I let you go, I got to ask the burning question. What are you doing tomorrow at 2:30 when the U.S. takes on Wemby in France? I know y'all were a bit appalled by Joe Reinagle's stance on this, which you'll be shocked to know because he told y'all he loves rooting for underdogs and hates seeing the dominant teams, get all the medals. He's rooting for the USA in women's basketball against France, just not the men's.
Well, Comrade Reinagle has his own agenda. I'll be wearing red, white, and blue, but I might have a baguette and some snails in front of me too. You know what I mean? I'd kind of like to see Wemby go off, but yeah, I don't think the Team USA is going to have as difficult a time against France as they did against Serbia. But I want Victor to go off. Hey man, USA.
And here's the thing: I want Wemby to lose. I want Wemby to lose horribly, so he's got a bad taste in his mouth coming into the season, and hopefully it lights a fire under him coming into this year's NBA season.
Well, I mean, there's been a reason we haven't heard a whole lot about Victor during the Olympics. It's very apparent how young he is. I mean, he's getting by with extraordinary athleticism and, just length and things that nobody in the world can do. But it was very obvious against South Sudan, and I believe it was the German team, where really he's got some work to do. It more than anything else, it showed us exactly where Wemby is in his development. Far better than he was a year ago, but there's a long way to go.
He is Rob Thompson of the Morning Huddle. Join him and AJ Hoffman every single weekday morning from 6 to 10 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Rob, thanks for your time this morning or this evening.
Gracias, amigo. Have a fine weekend.
I'm working on it, my man. Have a great one. Enjoy your float. That is Rob Thompson joining me via the Virus Barricades guest line. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Catch it online at buyersbarricades.com. Now, we found out there may be a brand new Olympic sport coming in 2028. How do we build the perfect team to compete in that? We'll discuss next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Connect to this radio station from all across the country. Take us to the gym, shopping. How about a road trip? Listen to us now on the free iHeartRadio app. You'll never miss a moment with your favorite radio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app and search for the station so we can go wherever you want us to.
El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road is now ready to serve up the cold drinks with your favorite Mexican dish. Come celebrate the grand opening of their bar this August 15th and get a free margarita only at El Guacamole Mexican Grill, 25020 Blanco Road.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS. 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel for my friends at Stevens Roofing, your local roofer. You know, summer is here, and that means long, hot days for everyone and everything, including your roof. Our hot Texas sun pounding down can degrade and age your roof. So for residential or commercial service, you need a reliable roofer you can trust and afford. That's Stevens Roofing. Online at stevensroofing.net or call them at 210-785-0994. That's 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Looking for the perfect spot to catch the game? Come to 49 Cigars, where great sports meet the finest cigars. Enjoy big screen TVs, an exclusive cigar collection, plus BYOB. Visit 49 Cigars at Village of Stone Oak, Suite 101, 49cigars.com.
Maybe it's time to ask your checking account. What have you done for me lately? My Advantage Checking from Generations Federal Credit Union does more. My Advantage Checking pays you 2 days early, plus shopping rewards, identity protection, and much more. My Advantage Checking treats you right. So make the switch. Learn more at Generations Federal Credit Union. Member owned, community grown. Member eligibility requirements apply. For complete terms and conditions, visit mygenfcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Looking for the ultimate bar experience? I-10 Ice House has daily happy hour specials that'll keep your spirits high and your wallet happy. Plus, catch the biggest sports events on massive 10-foot screens. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me this evening as we get you up to the top of the hour. Texans up 7-0. CJ Stroud finds Tank Dell for a touchdown. General Mills, Davis Mills in the game now. CJ Stroud's day is done. But there could be a new Olympic sport coming in 2028, that being flag football. How would you build the perfect team to make sure that the USA wins all the medals in that as well? Well, if you're using NFL players, which I do believe you should do, quarterback. A lot of people would go Patrick Mahomes right off the bat, and he does have some elusiveness, but flag football is a completely different game. And for me, Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray might be the quarterbacks I'd use in flag football, if I'm being honest. Their elusiveness, their ability to run and extend plays, I like that, along with their arm strength. When it comes to running backs, I need guys that can do both. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, and Travis Etienne. Those are probably the running backs I'm looking at. Receiver speed, Tyreek Hill. Him and Justin Jefferson, probably my top 2. After that, I'm looking at Amon St. Brown, Deebo Samuel, guys that can kind of do both running and run after the catch things. And then I need some size guys. A.J. Brown, Nico Collins, Mike Evans, somebody that to that degree, Devontae Adams, someone who can go up and high point a ball. Looking at tight ends, I'm going to go Travis Kelce because he is as good as he is. Your tight end's probably snapping it and being your release guy. Block and release. Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Sam Laporta. Those are the guys I'm looking for as my tight ends. Rushers, I need those guys that can really bend the edge, get quick, and disrupt immediately. Micah Parsons is one. TJ Watt's another. Probably Myles Garrett's going to be my third. Linebackers, Fred Warner, Roquan Smith, and I'm probably, if I don't have Kyle Hamilton at safety, I have him at linebacker. I want one of those hybrid guys up around the line of scrimmage. And then corners, Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley Jr., Trayvon Diggs, Patrick Surtain, and you could probably even drop one of those guys back to safety and play him alongside someone like an Antoine Winfield or a Justin Simmons. Those would be my safeties. I don't know what you think about that list, but for flag football, those are the guys I'm trying to really put in the situations to best utilize their strength and skill sets. 109er says that's a horrible lineup for flag, buddy. But I've played a lot of flag football in my life. You move position. Micah goes from outside linebacker. You want your outside linebackers to be your edge rushers because of their multiplicity, and they're faster than normal defensive ends. You kind of want safeties as your linebackers, and you want corners just kind of in all 4 spots, but you need corners that know the safety position, the ball hawks. And those are where guys like Trayvon Diggs come in. Personal opinion. And you want multiplicity in your wide receivers. You want those quick guys to really take the top off, and you want those guys underneath that can get yards after the catch, and you do need one of those guys in the red zone that can high point a ball. And my tight end's probably the guy snapping the ball. Just, it is what it is. That's how I would build the Olympic flag football team. What say you? Drop it in the comments section, or feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. 109er says, Deuce Vaughn, size are guys who succeed. I like Deuce, but I like Christian McCaffrey more. He's more versatile in terms of being able to run and catch the ball in the backfield. And that's the big thing. You need your running back to chip and then get out into space. In the flag tournaments I've played in, that's the way you utilize a running back. You're very seldom handing it off to him. And Saquon Barkley is another guy that can line up in the slot and do things. Speed does kill in flag. And if you notice, it's not like my team's slow, especially with the quarterbacks, with Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. Those are guys with speed that kills. I don't have a slow team in the team that I've built, but I'd love to know what you think. Go ahead and drop it in there. Where are you building your team? How are you building your team? I'll read some of the comments as they come in after this break, as well as let you know the Houston Astros are on the verge of getting a pivotal piece back for a stretch run. Could it be the part that helps lead them not only to winning the division, but a playoff push? We'll discuss next here on Extra Innings with Pledge, right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, and sasportstar.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-611-2046. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous program can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-611-2046. That's 800-611-2046. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Attention Roadrunner fans, get ready for an electrifying season of UTSA football. Season tickets are on sale now, starting at just $90. That's right, for only $90 you can catch all the action, all the touchdowns, and all the excitement at the Alamo Dome. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join the fun as we cheer on our UTSA Roadrunners to victory. Don't miss out on the best deal in town. Get your season tickets today and be a part of the Roadrunner family. Visit GoUTSA.com to secure your seats now. UTSA football, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Go Runners!
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Look no further than I-10 Ice House, your neighborhood sports headquarters with over a decade of excellence. Catch every thrilling moment on massive 10-foot screens, whether it's the big game or that must-see pay-per-view event. And don't miss out on their daily happy hour specials. The best seats are at I-10 Ice House on 9518 Console Drive, proudly serving our community for over 10 years. I-10 Ice House, 9518 Console Drive off Worsbach and 10.
football season is among us. Experience the ultimate game day at 49 Cigars at the Village of Stone Oak, Suite 101. Enjoy our fine selection of premium cigars, and you can bring your own beverages. Catch all the action in style at 49 Cigars, where great cigars and unforgettable sports moments meet.
South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:30. The Cowboys travel from training camp in Oxnard to Los Angeles to take on the Rams in their first of 3 preseason games. Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bell Bonds and Ewald Kubota. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
This is Jim Rome. Check out the Morning Huddle, 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportsstar.com. I know the 109er in our YouTube chat as regards to flag football being an Olympic sport and who we should do. He said no college or pro players, should be amateur guys. Look, we're building a dream team. It's what I'm doing. Olympic basketball does that. Olympic soccer does that. We use our pros. It's hard to think they won't be using pros when it comes to Olympic flag football as well. But if you want to use amateurs, go for it. But I want to send the best. And the best athletes that play football and they play in the Pro Bowl too. So they're semi-used to playing at that level. Just not as tough. The Astros got some great news as Justin Verlander will be making a start in Sugar Land over the weekend, and it will be a rehab start as he gears up for a return to play and needs to make 2 starts before returning to the Major League roster, according to the Houston Astros. But that's great news because he could be just what this team needs as it makes its postseason run, tied with the Mariners atop the AL West. And be that piece that tips the needle along with the fact that they say that they expect Kyle Tucker to return at some point before the end of the regular season. And if you can get those 2 guys back into this lineup, that is like making additions at the trade deadline, which would give the Astros, I believe, the bump they need going into this stretch run to potentially not only compete and win the AL West, but potentially have a chance at getting healthy and having a roster that can compete in the American League in the postseason to make another run to another ALCS, which would, I believe, be their 8th straight ALCS and a potential World Series run before who knows what happens when free agency comes with the pending moves that could potentially happen this offseason when you're talking about Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker and what the Astros potentially do. And if you're going to go out with one last hurrah with this crew as currently constructed, might as well make it all worthwhile. And if you win it, pay everybody and worry about the consequences later. This has been Extra Innings with Pledge. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportsstar.com. Be sure to check on your loved ones. Shoot them a text. You never know what somebody's going through. Just a simple text could do more than you know. Guys, as you know, the weekend is here. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you here at 6 o'clock, bright and late and early on Monday afternoon, as we'll get you set for another Extra Innings with Pledge here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not a rate based on Terry who keeps and makes the car behind them. Oh no, they're about to. Save with DriveWise and the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play.